Uh, my question is regarding the free will that we were talking this morning. Okay, the talk is still going on in my mind that we are free, but we are not free. Like we have a free will in certain time phase, but still we are not free because we have to complete our journey. So I would like to know something more on this because I feel I am free, but at the same time, I feel that no, I am not free. I have bondages. So there is uh, an inner pendulum within me, you can say, where free, not free, something like this. So I would like to know something more on this free will from you.
Okay, let us start like this to simplify it, that the free will depends on the self that we take ourselves to be, right? Meaning the strength of that self that we take ourselves to be is going to decide the strength of our free will, isn't it? If we know ourselves to be the self which is one and universal in nature and which is moving everything everywhere, then for sure we have a free will, no? Because then everything that is happening by our will only, no? And this is what is precisely will of God or not. The the God is not in this case, in this conversation, God is not some particular form, but God is that formless truth, the one self, no? Who is living in all the forms, through all the forms. No? But right now, that God is not talking or discussing this question. No? Now that meaning in its true form, in its universal form. Now it is talking in its limited individual form, form of you, form of me. No? So in this form of you, when this question is being asked, do I have free will? It has to come back, or it should come back to who I am, no? Or who I take myself to be right now. No? Like we, you may feel that I have a free will to run as long as I want to run. No? Like I can run 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 30, 40 kilometer. You know, I have a free will. And that may be good enough when you are just thinking about it. No? But when you will actually do it, then you will hit some wall, some limitation here. No? And you will realize that actually I have, I am free to run as much as I want, but my body has limitations. Yes. In the similar way, all other abilities inside us, when tested to their maximum limit, they will, their limitation will become visible to us. And then only there we will realize that actually I am living as a limited self. I am the self, but I am living in a form right now. I am the formless self, but living in a form right now. So in this form, within this form, I am living in relation to other forms or other self in other forms also. And there is a law, there is a system, there is a way, there is a flow of coexistence here that applies and that imposes a certain limitation here. So I don't have a free will like totally free. I have a free will within this system. No? Like we have a free will to eat food. We have a free will to not eat food also. No? But how long? For how long? For how long we will not eat food? We have a possibility of a free will of not drinking water when I'm thirsty. But for how long? No? So this body's need to drink water within that certain period imposes a certain limitation. And that That range is our limitation. Within that we can play. No? Beyond that we cannot. So these are just very basic example to kind of open our eyes a little bit. Now let's come to the core of the question, that who we are, first of all. Very simple way, not like a self-inquiry happening right now, but a conversation happening. Who I am. Do I know who I am? No, you should check right now. So, do you know who you are? Do you know why you are also in this form? Like, what is the reason? Like, have you decided yourself in the past that I will be taking form, birth in this form, and I will do these things? Do you know the whole background of it? You don't know. So there are possibilities that you may believe that I have a free will, and maybe you don't. No. What do you say? Would you like to say something about it?
Uh, uh, what I understood is that yes, I have a free will, and but there are the free will is within a system. There are external factors that are affecting my free will. But when I want to know myself and I taste that I am, I have this free will to taste this I am. But at the same time, I felt I have a free will to go to my thoughts also. And that is the time that clash happens. And both are merely like for me, both are very attractive. I want to stay as myself, this I am. And at the same time, I want to um, uh, see what my thoughts are. Like living in this life, living in this system, there are some certain responsibilities which I have to carry. And the attraction for I am is also now increasing, sitting silently.
Can we look at it right now, that what do you mean that you have a free will to go to your thoughts of individual life and to yourself? Who are you here? Who has free will? Because without you answering this question, I cannot trust your statement that I have free will. No, meaning your statement cannot be trusted. Generally, what happens is that the way our attention moves towards the individual thoughts and towards ourselves, there is a background. In the background, there is a mind which is able to interpret things in certain way that we feel comfortable, happy, or sometime unhappy also. And mostly we don't notice that our mind is interpreting things, not that it is the reality. Without knowing who we are, we cannot really guarantee that what I'm seeing or saying is real. No, about these things. No? So what happens is that it is our so-called free will generally is in the hands of mind only. It moves the attention to the individual thoughts, and when it feels tired, like it's not so interesting today. Like today, the weather is not good, so I will not go out. I will stay in, meaning I will be interested in checking, looking, feeling who I am. But who is deciding this is very important. And the one who is deciding must know who I am also. Without knowing who I am, this one cannot say that this is my will, that I have free will. Please understand this. I am very happy in satsang. I feel so fulfilled in satsang. I feel like everything has become complete in satsang. And then afterward, I lose it. How to get it? This is the same question actually, in a way. You know? If you have free will, apply that outside of satsang also. No? So no, we don't have free will in that way. We have a condition, like conditions apply. No? And conditions, as you know, are always in very small font. like small letters. No? So that's why we don't read that. No? Let us read that also. The star, no star. We should read that. One star. Sometimes one star, two star, three star also. We should read that. No? So it is our belief that I have a free will. Let us verify it. And it is possible to verify right now, not some tomorrow. Right now we can verify this. And how? Very simple. Sit with me, do nothing else. Prove your mastery. Prove that you are free. First you prove that you are free to not do anything. Then only you can claim that I am free to do something. No? And then only you can say that I have a free will. Free will includes doing something also and not doing something, choosing not to do something also. No? So prove right now that you have a free will. Don't do anything. About what? About nothing. About anything, don't do anything about anything. So Madhvi, check this, test this right now for just few seconds, 5-10 seconds, just 5-10 seconds. I will not speak now, just test. Yeah, you can say now anything.
Uh, you were right. I am not free yet. So if I am not free, then I don't have a free will.
Yes,
I am bound. I see myself as खूटी बोलते हैं ना जैसे खूटी है,
yes.
and I find those invisible threads to not one thing but many things. Many things, yes.
It's a very powerful discussion and exploration happening right now. I hope every one of us is real, involved, participating in some way. Because it's a very real thing. You are very raw, like you are very direct, no, Madhvi, about these things. You are not going via, you know, um you know, spiritual concept and things like that. Like very simple and direct. And one interesting thing about this is that as soon as we realize that I am free now, we don't care about will, that let me apply my will now because I am free now. No, we care about not applying. Like we don't care about doing something now. We are not interested in doing something freely. Rather, we are interested in not doing anything. We choose not to do anything. Because what has been discovered is so beautiful, like more beautiful than anything that has been experienced or that we imagine we can ever experience through effort, through doing, through moving. No? That we choose not to do anything and just remain in this beauty of our own being. Because it's like this, that through our effort, through our sadhana, through our um, imaginary free will of the ego, we were getting like one rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupees in terms of like just to quantify, and now we have the priceless, and gems, diamonds, and everything. Like there's just no comparison. We were like a beggar, and now we are like king and queen. There's no comparison. So we just tend to not. Now here the problem is not that how to stay in myself. The problem is how to do something now because you don't want to do something. You just feel I don't want to move now from here at all. I don't want to open my eyes at all. I just want to remain. घूंघट के पट खोल रे तो को पिया मिलेंगे बाहर के पट बंद कर ले भीतर के पट खोल तो को पिया मिलेंगे Kabir says like this, that close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes. You will meet the beloved. And it is true, Madhvi. In our own existence, that beloved, that Lord is going to visit us. And that is such a moment of blessedness which cannot become, cannot be described. Where there is just empty consciousness, and the light of Lord is shining on it, falling on it like a like the grace of Lord is shining on it. Empty consciousness. Empty consciousness is what is the realization that I am, no? That there is no body, I just am. Like an empty presence, no? That empty presence gets filled, by the grace of Lord. When it falls on you, no? By that light of God. Such a auspicious moment. And this is what is God realization. No? Not that I am realizes what is God. No, God realizes what I am. Through this empty consciousness I am. No? And until then, Madhvi, the we have a feeling that I have a free will. If I have a free will, that why I am not able to do everything as I want to? Why life is not in order as it should be, as per my understanding and my preferences? That's the cause of unhappiness, no? Because life is not regarding our preferences. That's what is unhappiness, no? It's a very simple answer that you are putting the wrong password, no? That's why you have not been, you are not an authenticated user yet. That's why life is not listening to your command, no? Your will, no? Wrong credentials, no? And after 3 times or 5 times, account will be logged also. Be careful. It is under, clear. Would you like to explore more, or it's very nice?
Very clear. Thank you. Thank you.
But when you have realized that I am not free, is it a bad thing? In a way, it is, because it has shattered. It's going to shatter that dream, which lives on the belief that I am free. It's going to shatter that whole belief, whole life, imagined life, no, of the person, that I am free. But it is also opening the doors for the real life, no, in which we are realizing who or what I am. I'm like a tree coming from some source. No? I'm something connected to the source. You know. One beautiful thing we were talking, that this sense of I am in its purity is a most beautiful place in this context, where the individual self is also there and supreme self is also here. You know, individual self is the moon, supreme self is the sun. No? Like when the moon and sun both are visible at the same time, it is that moment. I am is that state. Beyond that, beyond this I am, in its purity, in its depth, in the emness, the only sun remains now more and more. Sunlight. Emness is sunlight. Beyond that is pure sun. Not even sunlight, no? Pure self, without even experience of self. No? And Madhvi, there are different degrees of the same thing now. Like like how far we are from the sense of I am. That much we are identified, or identification is with the moon more, without any any thought about what is the source of my light. No? When the moon does not think that what is the source of my light, or it believes that source of my light. I am my light of my, source of my own light. Are you source of your own light? Are you source of your own self also? No. I'm not saying that it is a good thing or bad thing. It makes sense to us like this. Otherwise, we are going to sit on a belief that I am my own source. Are you a Swambhu? Swambhu means born out of yourself. Were you born out of yourself? Lord is called Swambhu, no? The one who was born out of itself. No? Are you a Swambhu? Were you born out of yourself? Because if you were born out of yourself, then you, that self out of which you were born, you must have been that before you were born. No? But was it like this for you? It is not like this really for us. We don't know. We just find ourselves, I was born. And after that, after let's say when 10 year, 15 year age, then we start thinking about life and we start taking ourselves to be more solid individual self and in relation to others, what to do, what not to do. No? So, Madhi, this is why it is very important to, to go back to our roots. Go back not in the sense of living there, but in the sense of enlightening our roots. From where I have come, who I am really. Not from where I have come in the sense of a conceptual thinking, but more a actual inquiry in this moment. Because I am, is it not true? I am living life. I am going forward. But what is my origin? In the origin, the knowledge of the origin lies in our own nature. As we live our own nature, we know our origin also. Thank you. It's very good. Very good talking to you.